Hello, welcome. Hello, Empowerment Studio friends. I am so glad to have you all here. Thank you for being here. Hello to those of you who are live with me. Oh my gosh, I'm still just like flooded with this beautiful feeling of welcoming all of your faces in and seeing all of your video windows pop up. And also hello to all of the replay folks who are joining us. I am so grateful. If you are watching this on the replay, I would love it if you would reply back to one of my emails or let me know in like Instagram DMs that you are tuning in. It would just make my heart so warm. There's like a whole crew of you that I've got in mind that I'm also talking to right now, but really this is all for all of us. I do just want to get us started with a deep breath together because there's so much going on in the world. That's true always, but especially right now, there's just so much complicated horror and tragedy. And I think the biggest gift we can give ourselves, in addition to showing up in the ways that we can take good care of our communities and of the world, I also think there's just a lot of power in like taking really impeccable care of yourself and in showing up in community. So I invite us to all be really present and just take really good care of ourselves for 1 hour. So that can look like, making sure you have a fresh glass of water and turning your phone on Do Not Disturb and taking a big deep breath. So if you would just maybe just close your eyes for a moment if you feel comfortable. Maybe put your hands on one or two places on your body that feel cozy. Let out all your air. We're going to do 2 deep breaths. 1 in through your nose, out through your mouth. Inhale some love in. And with a big sigh, exhale some love out to the world. And then give it a little wiggle because, that feels so good. All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm so excited about this workshop, 4 Steps to Revolutionize Your Relationship with Your Body. I'm going to be going pretty quick here because I really have a ton of content that I want to get out to all of you. And specifically, there's just so many actionable steps that I'm really, really pumped about that I want to make sure I can get through everything. So I'm going to go through everything. At the end, I will take comments and questions from the chat. So feel free to drop that in if there's anything that you want to know more about. I'm happy to go into it all more together. Now, a lot of you know me. I've photographed many of your boudoir sessions before, which is amazing. But there's some people who are new faces around here, and I'm so thrilled about that. So I'm going to introduce myself first. I am Kinsey. Hello. My pronouns are she, they, / I don't very much feel gender, so you can use whatever you want for me. I am the founder of the Empowerment Studio, which is a boudoir photography studio here in Kansas City, Missouri. I have been here running my business for 7 years now, and I have been a boudoir photographer for 11 years now this month, which is so incredible. The Empowerment Studio, our main goal is to guide our humans, and specifically within boudoir, guide our clients to see their bodies in revolutionary and deeply kind ways. Can we just like take up some space and throw some more kindness into the world? But I cannot do this alone. In this image right here, I've got my 2 most core team members here, Libby, who most of you know from the internet, and then there's David, who's our little 3rd floor attic gremlin. They are my right and left hand humans. I just adore them. This is Donnie. He does a lot of tech stuff for us. And here's Elle, who does some marketing. It's just, and then Kiki lives really far away. She's on this call, but she's one of my favorite assistants I've ever had. And I still count you, Kiki. We just have the best crew around here. As I mentioned, I am just now at 11 years of photographing boudoir, which absolutely blows my mind. I tried to do the math with Libby the other day. We got to somewhere around more than 500 clients that humans that I've photographed in front of my camera. It blows my mind. It's just so cool. And, I've seen so many stories and so many transitions and transformations here in the Empowerment Studio. I have also guided hundreds of people to take up more space through our Selfie to Self-Love Empowerment Challenge, which we do at least once a year. Might have something coming up soon, some sort of announcement about that coming up in the new year. I just love it. It's 5 days of selfies, and somehow, as simple as that sounds, people's lives have changed. They've completely revolutionized their relationships with their bodies through that process. And for 6 years, I ran an almost 6,000 member community full of folks who were just tapping into empowerment and kindness together. So as a result, I have worked with thousands of people, and I feel like I'm bringing every single bit of that experience and all of those interactions to this workshop. You are in the right place. You are here. And it's a good thing if your relationship with your body is complicated, if you are ready to see yourself in a new light. Maybe you're tired of seeing things how they are and you're ready for a fresh perspective. Maybe you'd love to stop throwing negative energy at your body and start just living your life. You want to learn how to take up the space that you know you deserve. Or maybe you've done a ton of work already and you've come into yourself and you've learned how to see yourself in a new way, and you are ready to celebrate that. There is no wrong time to be doing this work. Here are my hopes for you from this workshop. All right. I'm hoping that by the end of today, 2 things happen. 1, I hope that you can harness, grab onto even just the easiest bit, or maybe a lot of hope, that you might be able to love your body as it is, or even feel neutrality towards your body, but some hope that that relationship that you have with your body might change, that you can like welcome in something different. And okay, so hope, I want you to have some hope, and I want you to come away from today with 1 actionable step that you can take out of everything I'm about to teach, that you can start doing today, tomorrow, to start yourself in that direction, right? I'm really hoping that people can hear. I'm going to be teaching this whole, tons of tips and tricks and things that you can implement, but you can work on all of them eventually, but I just want you to really focus on 1 coming out of today. So as I'm going through everything, I'd be really interested, just kind of notice which ones stand out to you most, which ones you're like, oh yeah, I think that's actually really for me. Maybe there's some that you're like, oh no, I can't do that. And you don't have to force anything, but maybe you could find yourself open to it. So I'm going to teach you the 4 steps to revolutionize your relationship with your body. Now, here's the thing about these steps. Sometimes steps are sequential, right? This is not what we're doing here. This is 4 steps that can be used in any order, in any configuration, in any capacity. And all of these are going to help you move forward on shifting your relationship with your body. So I'm going to go into all of these in much more detail. But step number 1, retrain your brain. Okay, I want you to invite in some shifts in how your brain orients around your body experience. Step 2, explore your identity. We are all about that in the Empowerment Studio. Oh, it can feel so good to just come home to yourself. Step number 3, be in your body. Be in your body. Just exist, like taking up that space, feeling what it feels like. And then step number 4 is exist in photos. All right, so let's dive in. Step 1, retrain your brain. Okay, so here's the thing, and so many of my clients come in with this exact same messaging. I grew up with really tough messaging from my family or from a partner or from media, right? Our society is telling us to feel a certain way about our bodies, and it's not always very kind. In fact, it's mostly pretty unkind, or at least historically. I feel like the narrative is starting to shift, which I think is really cool. But these messages, they get into our souls, they're pervasive, and we have to consciously work to let them go. So how do we do that? Okay, I have some actionable steps for you here. Step number 1, follow people on Instagram who have bodies like yours is right now. Not like you're hoping your body will be or like it used to be, but how your body is right now. Just seeing yourself on, like, seeing your body shape on someone else and being able to be like, oh, they're cute, or oh, I like their outfit, or they dance really well, and then being like, oh, I look like that. That's cool, right? There's that. And then also follow people whose bodies are different than yours. And here's the deal with that, right? Following people whose bodies are like yours, that can help you learn your exact body. But following people who have all different sorts of sizes and shapes and colors of bodies can help you like expand out your perception of what bodies are supposed to look like or what bodies are beautiful. And if you start to follow people who are just like different than you and different than each other, then you cannot help but start to like shift how your brain is orienting around that. I do have to give a really quick shout out. This is Kita. She's an Empowerment Studio member and also just like a really dang incredible human. Her Instagram, like, follow a bunch of people, but follow Kita because she is an incredible vibe. Her outfits are amazing. Her joy is amazing. She's just a stellar human. So I first met her through one of our first selfie challenges, and we've just been like palling around on the internet since then. All right, now once you've followed people on Instagram, you can start the complimenting process, or you can even just start doing this with like people you're following. But as you're scrolling in your feed or as you're hanging out with people in real life, make an effort to say a nice thing to them, to be like, hey, I really like how that dress looks on you. It's got such a cool vibe. Or the way that your hair is tumbling over your shoulder is absolutely dreamy, right? If you can start noticing beautiful things about beautiful people, turns out it starts to kind of seep in. This is, again, retrain your brain. This is another big one. Do some self-care, go to therapy, find other ways to be good to yourself. If you can find some ways of taking care of yourself that you deserve, you can start to see yourself as someone who is more worthy of that kind of care and of kindness, of generosity. And then indulge in affirmations that you can actually believe. Okay, so we are not doing affirmations like, I am the very best person in the whole world, or whatever, right? But we can say affirmations like, I am strong. I am deserving of a kind relationship with my body. And if affirmations are a little bit beyond or feel a little like too stretchy for you, then what you can also do is you can do affirmations, which is such that we've been tossing this around in the Empowerment Studio for a while. Affirmations is you put what if right before. So what if I am deserving of love and care? What if I am abundant? And it gives you this like little crack in to start exploring this concept. It's pretty powerful. Okay, but it doesn't always go as we're planning, right? So I'm just going to give you some like heads up about some things that I don't recommend, right? So we're trying to retrain our brain. Something that's very tricky is if you try to do this alone. It's better in good company. It's better with someone who can guide you. Maybe it's a therapist. Maybe it's a friend group. Maybe it's coming in to work with a boudoir photographer who like can throw some new ways of seeing yourself at you and help you retrain your brain. Same deal, surrounding yourself with the same old messaging from all angles. You got to get out of your comfort zone just that little smidgy bit and start to be around more positive people, more kind people, more body abundant people. If you can start being around messaging, I think that's a big thing we do here in the Empowerment Studio. Like when we are leaving compliments on photos, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, cool. I know how to jump in on that because you are seeing it modeled for you. So how can you tap into what you want, like you are the average of the 5 people you spend most time with, right? So who are you spending time with? Can you surround yourself with some better messaging? And oh my gosh, I hear this all the time. Sometimes people think it's too late or it's like too deeply ingrained, but I've seen even those most like hard eggs have some shifts start to like ripple it open, start to see little differences in their brains. I remember a very wonderful human who is here with us live, my friend Rachel. She joined us, the Empowerment Studio, also through a selfie to self-love challenge. And I remember her energy like coming into it. And we've talked about it since then. She was like, I don't, sure, I'll join in on this, but I don't think I can actually like myself, and through the process of posting her selfies and getting compliments about areas of her body that she was a little bit more insecure about, I literally, like, through 5 days, saw her start to just be like, oh, what if not that? What if not that? What if I liked this part of myself? What if I felt differently about this part of myself? And then the selfie challenge resulted in her coming in for a photo shoot, and her being here in this studio space. She was like so open to it, and it just allowed so much huge shifting to happen. It's so cool. It's so cool. You can always change. It's never too late, and you are never too stuck in how you feel. All right. Step number 2, explore your identity. Also, this photo of Kythra. What a gorgeous human. So here's the deal. It is really hard to feel like yourself. It's hard to like yourself. It's hard to act neutrally like towards yourself if you don't feel like yourself. It's like we can spend all day long trying to like tap into like or neutrality or love towards ourselves. But if the version of ourselves that's here is like not actually us, then that's really challenging. It's a lot better if you can explore your identity and tap into who you are. And that's a much easier version to throw love at, in my experience. So step 2, explore your identity. So again, this is kind of like the Instagram one, but soak in media under the umbrella of your curiosity. I'm just going to use this as an example. Like if you're starting to suspect that you are queer, and I'm using this as an example because like I feel like so many of our Empowerment Studio clients are just like beautifully and deliciously queer and like gender magical and everything. But there's some people who are just at the very beginning stages of starting to learn this about themselves. If you are like, oh, maybe I am bisexual, maybe I'm queer or something, start taking in media, following people on Instagram who talk about their queerness. Start reading books that have like same-sex relationships in them. Just start soaking in some media that can help you explore. Get curious, try new things. You can try a new way of styling your hair or dressing. You can start wearing a binder, start not wearing a bra at all. Experiment with makeup or experiment with not wearing makeup. Try on some new pronouns or identity labels. And this is so beautiful. This is Remy here. And I actually reached out to them because I was like, your photos and your story are so powerful to me. Is there any way that you would be open to me sharing? If not, totally fine. And they're like, heck yes. Remy came in for their very first boudoir session here. This was like back in 2018. And at the session, they tried on, and in the Empowerment Studio, they tried on new pronouns and their name. Like they were like, I think I need to go by Remy. Heck yeah. And they tried it on for the very first time in the Empowerment Studio. And then to their session, they wore their binder like out loud for the first time. Like it was the first time they were wearing it out of the comfort of their home or like under baggy clothes or whatever. And I asked them like what that experience was like. And they said, having the space to do that was wildly freeing. When I reflect on it, it felt like I got to step into my own skin for the first time. I think that shows in my expressions in those pictures. I think so, Remy. Oh my gosh. It was just so beautiful. I remember the session vividly. Okay, but what mistakes are we going to make? Because we got to look out for this, right? So first of all, you don't want to be sharing your newfound identity out loud with humans who are not 100% in your corner, or at least at first, right? At some point you can be like, yeah, this is who I am. Take me or leave me, right? But it's so good to like try on these new parts of yourselves in a really cozy, safe environment. The Empowerment Studio is an amazing example of that. You know, you can come and wear whatever you want on this bed here in the studio, and you can, be a whole range of genders. I have had the most like gender expressive clients. There's some clients who have come in and been like, I'm kind of gender fluid, or I'm like exploring my gender. And so you get 3 looks in your boudoir sessions. And for the first look, they'll do something more femme. The second look, maybe they'll go a little more androgynous or like cozy, raw. And maybe the third look, they'll go a little bit more masked. And then, oh my gosh, seeing these galleries of images of people just like exploring their identity is the coolest thing. And that goes along with this next one. Oh, it can be so tender to have this beautiful part of yourself that you're discovering and learning and not letting anyone witness you in it. So come to the empowerment studio. I will witness you. It's also really important to recognize that identity shifts do not have to be big. Like, you really don't have to, change your pronouns or your name or come out as queer or whatever. Like, sometimes these identity shifts are things like, I think I want to not wear makeup anymore, or like, I'm going to start wearing, this is like a very simple one, but I'm going to start wearing like brightly colored eyeliner. That helps me feel more like me. And when you feel more like yourself, you can be more yourself. You can like yourself more. It's a lot easier, at least. Okay, step number 3, be in your body. Okay, here's the deal. Every single person, even me who's like empowering all these other people, all of us have complicated experiences with our bodies. I always say, like, bodies are complicated because they change, and then they're changing, and you have to like learn this new version of you and learn this new version of you. And it's happening so often that like sometimes it's a whirlwind, right? And I remember I was going through this time when I was just like really not feeling myself. And then I was in the car with my partner, Matt, and we were driving down the highway, and it was golden hour, and we had the windows open, and that my hair was just whipping around. And I was like, holy cow, I got to document this moment, because I had not felt that in my body in so long. I had just been focused on my body. And in that moment, I got to like tap into myself. Oh, this moment felt good. And this photo even like kind of gets at the energy of it, but it really helps me tap into what that felt like. So there's a lot of different ways that you can tap into your body, that you can jump into your body, that you can be in your body. One that I like to do is to stand in front of a mirror, and with as kind of a lens as you can possibly muster up, right? Like, try as hard as you can to just allow the thoughts that are maybe a little harder, but then just be like, okay, but I'm doing kindness right now. Sit with yourself in front of a mirror, or take some pictures and just explore different angles. Stretch and feel what it feels like when you crunch your body up, and look at how your rolls meet each other, and look at yourself from different angles. That's an incredible way to just like start to throw that kind of love at your body. You can also indulge in flow pose. Now, flow pose is the very first session, or the very first pose that I do in every boudoir session in the empowerment studio. This is actually, this started out as flow pose. This is kind of the like flow pose plus, where the client just gets like so into their own body that they start like doing their own thing and stretching and taking up space. It happens like every time. I love it. But flow pose at its very core, and you can try this at home, is where you lay down and you close your eyes and you put your hands on your body, and you just start to flow your hands all over your body. And during boudoir sessions, this is something that's really important to me. I like to take a lot of moments to be like, hi, let's check in with yourself. Like, how are you feeling right now? Or like, hey, have you noticed this thing? This is a really helpful thing about having someone else helping you, right? But during flow pose, I usually will say, feel what it feels like to have this exact body that you brought here with you today. What body did you show up with? How does it feel? Right? And this is a big part of flow pose. Oh, I'm even just like rubbing my belly right now. Oh, that reminds me. So kind of an extension of flow pose, but when I'm putting a moisturizer on at night, any leftover that I have after I like rub it into my hands, I usually just put it onto my belly and like mush my belly around. And that's just another version of being in my body, just noticing how it feels, being present with myself, and giving myself like a little bit of love to this like cutie pie little soft belly I got, right? It's just like such a little gift, even in these tiny moments. And then third, move your body in a way that brings you joy, or do joyful experiences with your body, right? And that could look like so many different things. That might be that you feel really tapped into yourself during sex. That might be that you find a water aerobics class. I know Libby found one that has just been like, oh my gosh, this is a way that I can move my body that makes me feel good, that I feel really present in myself with. There's queer kickball leagues. There's going on poke walks with your kid, like playing Pokemon Go, or by yourself. I don't care. You don't need a kid to play. Hugging someone that you love, that you feel comfortable with. In fact, one of my most present body moments is when David and I hug each other. And inevitably, we always hug for like kind of a long time. And we start to hug, and then about 5 seconds in, we both just let our bellies soften. I always feel it. We just go, and our bellies and our bodies are just pressed up against each other and wound around each other. And there is maybe no more present feeling than I have than that. Be in your body. Okay, but what can come up here, right? This can be complicated, right? And you know what? So I drew up this slide, and then I reached out to Libby, and I was like, Libby, would you possibly just tell me like a thing or two about what it was like for an exact question. I said, what was it like to actually feel safe with a boudoir photographer while you were being in your body at the empowerment studio? Because it's really easy to put yourself in environments where your body isn't welcome, or to stay in your comfort zone, or not to take time and notice these things that actually feel good. So I'm gonna have to shift over our screen a little bit here, but I have a little audio clip of our dear Libby that I'm gonna play for you.
Okay, so what's coming up for me right now is that I have definitely been in spaces and with people that do not make me feel safe in my body. In fact, that's where I spend the majority of my life, is in spaces where I don't necessarily feel safe, accepted, welcome in the body that I'm in, except in my like home base, you know? And I think there's something about working with you that like felt exactly like that home base that I have kind of curated in my own personal spaces, but I felt it exactly in your space as well. Like I never felt like I needed to move in a way that made my body feel weird, or I never needed to like do anything that I wasn't completely comfortable with. But also on top of that, even in my own spaces, sometimes I'm still not completely in touch and like in my body. You know what I mean? But just working with you specifically, you helped coach me in certain ways to get into that space. I know we in our last session, we had a moment where I could tell like, oh no, I'm getting in my head here, and I'm like, my brain is about to steamroll this whole session that I invested a lot of time, money, and energy into, and I don't want that to happen. So I felt comfortable enough to say, oh, we need to stop. I need to stop because I need to get in touch with my inner body real quick. And you told me exactly how to do that. And not only did you tell me how to do it, but you got me right back in there so fast, right back in my body. And it just felt juicy, and it just felt like right. I just felt right. You know what I mean? And those are some of my most favorite and most vulnerable pictures from that session are when you're coaching me about how to get back into my body. We did kind of a flow pose sort of thing while I was kneeling on the bed. Those are some of my most favorite, but those are also the ones I don't share as often, not because I don't love them, but because they're just so tender to me, and I hold them so preciously to my little heart.
Isn't that so nice? I had already picked this photo, and I had already written this, and then I was like, hey Libby, what's up? And she was like, let me say all of these things. Oh, it was just I love you, Libby. All right. And that actually very cozily brings us into step 4, which is exist in photos. Photography is so powerful. It allows us to see beauty that we can't always see with our own eyes. Seeing beautiful, real photos of yourself can change your life. I really believe this. And there's a lot of different ways to exist in photos, right? You can but intentionally be photographed. And that can look like, developing a selfie practice. That can look like hiring me for a photo shoot and being like, yeah, let's go. Let's actually do this. I want to see myself from lots of different angles and lots of different ways. This can also look like, hey, partner, friend, kid, when we're having a really joyful moment, or when I'm doing this thing, would you just take a picture of me? I would love to see myself. There's a picture of me and David just like sitting and with our heads thrown back, laughing, and we're holding hands. It's just this like beautiful moment. And it's like I've learned some of myself through that picture. So intentionally be photographed, and then be kind to yourself in pictures and videos. It is very easy to do the body scan, to like go head to toe and pick yourself apart. That's okay. That's allowed. You're allowed to feel however you feel. We're not forbidding that. But then come in and layer in a layer of kindness. And then we do this so well in the Empowerment Studio. Now, obviously, not all boudoir clients, sign a full model release. That's why we do model calls from time to time. But those clients that do release their images, or even a client who isn't a model call, but is like, yeah, you can share these 3 images of me. When I post those on the internet and other people are like, oh my gosh, look at their hips, look at the light on their face, like look at the rainbow that's just decorating them. There's something really beautiful about letting your photos breathe out loud, or texting them to your friend, say, hey, I've got a photo for you. I really like it. Will you give me a compliment back in return? Do it. You know what? Ask for what you need. When you ask for what you need, your needs can be met. That's pretty cool. Okay, this is like probably the most important of the mistakes slide, because, and I'm going to say this as like gently or delicately or something as I can, but not all boudoir photographers, not all photographers know how to wrap up all of their clients in love and how to photograph them in a way that they actually look like it's not even about like making someone look flattering. It's just like how the job that I do is I look at someone and I say, okay, how do I see them? What do they look like? And how can I translate that into this 2-dimensional photo, right? But not all photographers know how to do that. Not all photographers hold your journey and your experiences with gentleness and love. And I hate to say it, but like there's some photographers out there that do more harm than good. And I hate that, but it's true. So make sure, whether it's me or if it's someone else, but be photographed by someone who loves you, who thinks you're beautiful, who sees all of your magic about you, and who knows how to put that into a photograph. This is another big one. There's so many people who believe like I have to change before I am worthy of documenting my body. I've had so many clients who have been on like whatever kinds of body journeys. Like a really great example is trans people who have come to me and have been like, I'm not fully like the visual presentation of my trans self that I really want to be, but I need to like throw some love at this version of me right now. And then they come back for another session later when it's time to like document that newer version of themselves that's even more aligned with where they're going on their journey. The same can be said for like just all different body changes and everything, but it's just you are worthy of documentation right now. And I would really like to encourage you to believe that, because we don't know what's coming tomorrow. We don't know how our bodies might change, or how long any of us are going to live. And so I feel like it's really important to exist in photos, and you're worthy of that right now. And this is another one. Oh my gosh, stop keeping your magic to yourself. Stop being alone at home in your bedroom and being beautiful. Come into my studio and let me photograph you and give you compliments. I think there's so much good and so much beauty in this world, and it would do us well to breathe some energy and some like let it breathe. All right, so here is what you have learned. Here are the 4 steps we just went through. Retrain your brain. Okay. In the comments, I would love to hear which one of these 4 is standing out most to you. Which one is like piquing your interest? Which one is like, oh, like this one feels challenging, but I think I might want to tackle it. I'm curious, like which category feels like the one you might try to step into next. Retraining your brain. So that's like retraining those deep grooves, allow our brains to wiggle, shuffle around, welcome in something new. Explore your identity, surround yourself with possibility, and allow yourself the what if. Be in your body, get present, take up space, wiggle into it, be in your body. And number 4, exist in photos. Give yourself the chance to be seen. Now, here's the deal, and I've mentioned a lot of times that we're going to be opening up a really exciting boudoir opportunity. So there's some chances to take this to another level here in the Empowerment Studio. But here's the deal. Okay, I'm going to be really honest with you. You do not have to come to a boudoir session to get this work done, to make some changes. That's what this all is about. In fact, my goal is that people do a lot of this work on their own and then come to see me to celebrate, to take it to the next level, to document, right? But even if you never come see me, keep doing your thing, you will get there. Just keep chugging along, keep going for it. I will say that you can speed the process up. You can take a leap forward. You can skip some steps by coming into the Empowerment Studio. Boudoir sessions here are really, really transformative. I would say that they are so much more than just the photos. Like if you're just looking to get some pretty photos of yourself, cool. Like you can do that a lot of different places. But if you want to have a transformational experience with your body and your perception of self, and you want to spend this time feeling really good in your body, then I would love to invite you into the Empowerment Studio. And you don't have to take my word for it. I actually have some really, out of all of these like 500 clients that I photographed, which is so incredible. I'll get over it someday. Maybe not, hopefully not. But I've got several clients who I pulled some quotes from them, from things that they've said after their sessions, and I would like to share them with you. So this is Corey looking absolutely phenomenal in this Tomboy X 2-piece matching set. Oh my gosh, also it's so soft. But Corey just looked so phenomenal. The light was gorgeous. And Corey wrote, Kinsey and team helped me feel comfortable, sexy, seen, and yes, empowered every step of the way. As a fat person, especially, that isn't always my experience in the world. I will say I am very good at photographing all different sizes and shapes of bodies. That is a specialty of mine. I love all of the bodies, and that comes through in my photos and in the client experience I give, right? This is Sarah. We actually just finished their session not too long ago. Oh my gosh, this human. Talk about gender magic exploration, kapow. This was a really cool session. They wrote, I am beyond grateful for this studio. Kinsey has cultivated such a safe, inclusive space for everyone that has ever dreamed of doing a boudoir session, but didn't think it would fit or be for them. They have made it a point of ensuring the experience is curated to your unique self and that you are celebrated as you are. I love to throw a party for a human. That's true. I really do. I just come in. Who are you? What's up? Let me photograph this exact version of you. And also maybe the version of you that you're becoming. This is Amanda. My time with Kinsey was pure magic and giggles. I had so much fun and found a deeper connection within myself that I had forgotten was even there. To say that all bodies and people are celebrated within the Empowerment Studio is an understatement. She has a magical way of drawing out a part of yourself that either you have buried or neglected to see for yourself. I felt a power and energy within me draw out, and it was contagious. Can you believe that? That's incredible. Look at her just being powerful. Holy bananas. I love it so much. So this is where I would love to invite you to book a session with me in the Empowerment Studio. If you're feeling like, yeah, you know, this is lighting me up. This is exciting. I'm curious. I want to know myself better. I want to throw some love at myself. And here's the deal. So these same 4 steps, this is exactly what we do in the Empowerment Studio. We help you retrain your brain so many ways. Okay, let me think of some of the ways. Repeated messaging during your session. You're just like hearing the same messages over and over, that you're beautiful, that you're strong, that you're capable, that you look amazing, that you're taking up space. That can start to like really penetrate. You get to start feeling a new way. It all starts to chip away at that groove. We continue that in your celebration session. After your session's over, you get to sit down with me and we go through your photos one at a time. And you get a chance to like take yourself in. And, you know, sometimes people have images that are tricky for them because I am not in the business of hiding bodies. Listen, like, you got a body, I'm going to show it all back to you. But you don't have to be scared of that because I'm going to show it back to you in a way that is like, first of all, I think you look amazing in these photos. And second of all, I fully believe that you'll be able to eventually see that in yourself as well. But sometimes images are tricky, and sometimes clients will say to me like, oh, I really love my photos, but like this one or these couple of photos are really hard for my brain right now. And we'll actually do an exercise where we will like go back and forth and say 3 things that we each like about the person in the photo. And would you know it? It's the coolest thing that happens. Sometimes I'll be like, oh, totally get it. You're allowed to feel however you feel. Open to that changing for yourself, like cool. But I just really like that this shape of your hip here is so beautiful, and like the way that your belly meets your thigh and how like that soft curve of your belly just rests on top of your thigh like that is so gorgeous, and the way that the light hits it, and, you know, that's so cool. And then would you know, we're going to the end of the celebration session and people are like deciding what photos they want in their albums or what they want as wall art. And so often people pick those photos, the ones that they're like, that one's tricky for me. And then they're like, actually, I think I want this photo on my wall. I just really like how my belly is hitting my thigh. Now that you pointed it out, I see it. And it's like, I see it happening. So we are actively retraining your brain. I've already mentioned how much we are exploring your identity here in the Empowerment Studio. You get to show up and I'm like, yo, what are your pronouns? And, you know, sometimes someone's like, this is actually what I need you to call me today. Sure, cool. And then you get to look through all of these pieces in the client lingerie closet and figure out what calls to you today, like what is speaking to you and this version of yourself. And maybe you're like, you know, identity exploration. You're like, I kind of want to try on some harnesses. I've never worn harnesses before. And then you're wearing your harnesses and you're like Amanda here being like, damn, okay, like taking up some space here, right? It's the coolest thing that happens. Be in your body. Libby said it better than I can, but wow, we just give you a chance to frolic around the studio and be present and take up space and have a really joyful time. And not only that, but I'm really good at helping you notice when these things are happening so you can like slow down and experience it. So often during a session, I'll say like, I just want to reflect back to you how open and soft you feel right now. Like you just seem so dropped into yourself. And sometimes at that moment, the client will just be like, oh my gosh, I am. Like I've never felt like this before. And I always remind people, I can't create anything that's not already inside of you. So if we can tap into that in the Empowerment Studio, you're going to have access to that again. But the thing that's cool about the Empowerment Studio is this is like a really sacred space where it's easier to tap into this. It's kind of like doing a little workout, strength train those muscles, and then it's easier to access, you know, going forward. And you have your photos to like help you tap back into that. And then exist in photos. It's just the coolest thing. Like it's a difficult thing to photograph someone who is a three-dimensional object, right? And person, and to turn them into a two-dimensional photo that actually looks like how they look. Because our eyes, you know, when we're moving around in space, like we see how the light reflects off and how different parts of our bodies move, but that's not there in a 2D photo, right? We don't have all of those extra pieces of information. So that's why I pose you and, you know, work through a series of prompts and guide your expression and like help you find peace or joy or laughter. And then I know how to document that. And so then I am creating photos of you that actually look like how we see you, how those of us who love you see you. And we are able to then reflect that back to you. It's like I'm holding up a little mirror, but it's a really kind mirror. It's a really loving mirror. So if you'd like to come join me in the Empowerment Studio, I would be so thrilled. We are launching our October Empowerment Studio sale. It's my birthday month. I love to celebrate, and October is just a fun month in general. So this is our month. We are doing a sale all the way through October 20th. Now, here's the deal. So this is a really popular sale. I have not done one of these since November 2020 because so many people booked sessions at that point with this sale. And I've just been like still working my way through. There's also been a lot of, you know, COVID stuff that's made it all take a little bit longer. But so this is our first time that we've had a sale on boudoir sessions since November 2020. And I'm just pumped to bring it back. So here's the deal behind this sale. So normally when you book a session in the Empowerment Studio, you pay $500 up front. And that is what you are paying. That's like your booking fee. That's what gets you all set up with all of our different scheduling. It holds your spot on the calendar. We get you scheduled for, you know, your hair and makeup. We do your pre-session planning call, all of these things. Oh, my hair is just, oh my God. Let me just take a moment. This is like, we can self-care, right? There we go. Okay, so normally you pay that $500 booking fee, and then you come in to your planning call, and that's when you choose which one of the boudoir collections you want to invest in. The boudoir collections is what determines the number of outfits that you wear, which bonuses you have access to, and what products you get. Now, all of my collections include all of your digitals because I am not going to keep those from you. It just feels ridiculous to me. So many people are like, I don't know how I'm going to choose which photos I like. What if I like too many of them? Well, good, you get all of them. So great. I hope you love all of them so much. Okay, so that's how it usually works. $500 plus you pick a boudoir collection, and then you pay for that. When you've paid for that, you come in for your session. Here's what our sale is. This is, instead of $500, it drops down to $250. And you get $100 product credit that applies towards any of the boudoir collections, including collection 2, which is all of your digitals. And you also get some little mini products. It's a popular collection. People were asking for it. And so I created it for them. People were like, I just want to come in and have this incredible experience with you and create awesome photos and have those photos to take home with me. And I was like, voila, collection 2. And then once you're booked in, you become a client in the Empowerment Studio, just like all of my other clients. So what's included in that experience? I mentioned we do a virtual planning call shortly after you book your session. You get onto my calendar, and that's when we start dreaming about your session. During that, we start dreaming about which prepayment bonuses you want to do, if you want to do neon shower set, if you want to be in the milk bath, if you want to wear wings or harnesses or do headshots. It's also at that point that I help you with the process of choosing which boudoir collection you want to invest in. So do you want to do a big, full, expansive session? Do you just want to dip your toe in with like a one-look boudoir session? Totally your choice. And we base it on what you're looking for and also what's aligned with your budget, right? Boudoir sessions all include an optional add-on of professional hair and makeup. It's included. It's like, that's part of the experience if you want it. Not everyone takes me up on it, which is totally fine. But that's with our incredible hair and makeup team at White Carpet Bride. I've been working with them since I moved to Kansas City 7 years ago. They take great care of all of our clients. They can nail the looks. They even are so good at like, I want to look like I'm not wearing any makeup. Love it. Love it. You get up to 3 looks to be photographed in, and you get access to my entire client lingerie closet. We have over 300 pieces. David and I counted recently. Over 300 pieces, sizes extra small through 6X. Every single size has at least 15 pieces in that size. I am constantly adding new little bits and pieces to the collection. If you've come in before, there's something fresh for you now. But yeah, and you get to wear those. It's got a big, long selection. You can also bring in, if you like have a very specific vision for what you want to wear. I had a client recently who brought in her own like snag tights and this whole look. And then we like layered that in with the harnesses from the client lingerie closet. Good grief. Good grief. We have her celebration session on Friday. Oh boy. Yeah, those photos are amazing. Then you get your totally awesome photo shoot. Okay, you get, I pose you to a T. You don't ever have, people sometimes are like, I don't know if I can do a boudoir session. I don't know how to look sexy or whatever. No, I got you. I got you. I'm never gonna tell you to look sexy. If you tell me to try to like look sexy, I'm gonna look constipated or something. Like that's just not a good way to pose someone or direct them. I will get you into a pose. I will pose your hips and your legs and then where your arms go and where your head is. And then I will coach you through the facial expressions and where to look and close your eyes. And the entire time I am giving you compliments. I kind of have a reputation for giving kind of ridiculous compliments. But the thing is, when I think a nice thing about someone, I'm not going to hold it back from them. So sometimes I have been known to like be like, oh my gosh, I love the way that the light is hitting your belly button right now. Or like, oh, the curve of your elbow is looking great right now. Like, I don't know. I can't help myself, but also like, it seems to have a positive effect. It's pretty fun to just get compliment, 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 compliment. And by the end of the session, you're just like, okay, yeah, I believe all these things about myself somehow. That's cool. And then I already mentioned the celebration session. So that's when we go through your photos one at a time together online, your first time seeing your photos. We are not doing that thing where you get a gallery at like 11 p.m. and you're by yourself in your room and you're just like picking apart all of the bad things that you don't like about yourself in these pictures. It's not a good way. Who's been there before? I have done this to myself. It's awful. I don't recommend it. This way you have a buddy who can guide you through the experience of seeing your photos for the first time. And then the prepayment bonuses. I have more details about that coming up, but when you prepay for your collection, you get an awesome bunch of things you get to add on and choose from. So here's the deal. So we've got 3 different collections, right? And I mentioned that. And I just wanted to go into a little bit of what each one is. I'm going to go through pretty quickly. All of the details about this are on our sale page, which is empowermentphotographer.com/sale. So you can look at all of this later. You don't have to like memorize anything right now. But collection 1, you get your 3 boudoir outfits. You get your photo shoot, your celebration session, the hair and makeup and client lingerie closet. All that's included in all of these. Then you get your full set of digitals in color and black and white. And you also get you get to choose. This is for my like product clients, right? You get a wall art cluster or a 30 image album. And then you also get to pick 3 mini products to choose from. So this collection's pretty banging. This one's awesome. I will say I have a lot of clients. Collection 2 is probably the most popular one. But I have a lot of clients who get collection 2 and then they see their photos and they're like, so can I actually upgrade to collection 1? Because I didn't think I was going to want wall art, but turns out I actually need wall art. I need this entire cluster on my wall. I just like these photos tell a story and I need to hold this album in my hands. So it happens pretty often. So if you just want to like pre-budget for it, can't recommend that enough, honestly. But collection 1 is either, if we set you up on a payment plan, 6 monthly payments of $1,000 each, or 9 monthly payments of $666.66. You can also extend this out further. We can do a 12-month payment plan if that is what is helpful and most supportive to you in your budget. So when we hop on that planning call, we actually configure all of the payment plan stuff together, custom for you. Collection 2, the I just want to stare at my hot bod on my phone digital experience. Okay, this one is very similar to that first collection. The only differences are actually that you just get your digitals and you get 2 mini products. That's things like the Viewmaster and the mobile app and a small wall art and Polaroids. I just like really believe in people getting to see themselves in print. And so this way I make that possible for you. But the focus on this one is on the digital collection. Now, for a 6-month payment plan, this is 6 monthly payments of $750, or you can do 9 monthly payments of $500 each. I find that a lot of clients end up kind of budgeting like around $500 a month, or some more, some less, depending. So this is a place that ends up pretty cozy for a lot of people. And then collection 3, the belly laugh experience. So as I mentioned, we have this, like, I call this the taste of boudoir. This is a chance for you to like come in and experience it. You can dip your toe in. This is great for people who are like, I am not totally sure I want to do a full session, but I do want the experience of being in your studio. This is one boudoir outfit, but you still get all of the other stuff. You get client lingerie closet, you get hair and makeup, you get your celebration session. It's just a squishier, abbreviated version. We still like empower you in this session. This is one outfit and you get 10 to 15 digitals in color and black and white. This is 6 monthly payments of $333 or 9 monthly payments of $222.22. Now, okay, we're taking this sale to the next level because I cannot be helped because I'm so excited. So let me tell you, in addition to saving $500 off your session fee, or $250 off your session fee, we also have a fast acting bonus. This is only until this upcoming Friday night, Friday, October 13th at 11:59 p.m. Central. But this is a completely waived session fee. Now, I have never done this before. And I honestly, like, to be totally honest with you, my coach was like, what if we try this? And I'm like, cool, yeah, let's try it. But I don't know how this is going to go. I don't know how this is going to sit, how it's going to be responded to. So this might be the only time we ever do it. I don't know. But here's how this works. You will still book your session through the sale page, like through empowermentphotographer.com/sale. You will pay $250. But then that $250 becomes product credit towards whichever boudoir collection you choose if you pay in full. Oh, no, sorry, that's not even that. That's not if you pay in full. That's just for everyone. That's just for everyone. You don't have to pay in full for this one. That's the next slide. This is literally just if you, okay, so we're doing this sale for the next like week and a half. If you book in the next 2 days, you just get a totally waived session fee. That $250 is applied towards whatever boudoir collection you want. So you save $500 on this if you book in the next like 2 days. And then here's the pay in full bonus that I was talking about. So this collection, this here is if you decide to pay in full on your phone call with me or on your video chat with me when we're planning your session. And this is totally up to you how you want to finance it. You can open up PayPal credit. You can open up a new credit card with 0% APR and just spread out your own payments however you want. That is none of my business. This is if you choose to pay in full for your collection, you get an additional 10% off. So that means you could save up to $600 by paying in full. So if you do the math on this, right? If you book in the next 48 hours, you save $500 off of our regular prices. And then here, you could save another $600. So that means if you book in the next 2 days and you pay in full, you could save over $1,000 on your boudoir experience. Like I said, I don't know, I might be nuts, but I'm just so excited. I'm just so excited and I want to bring some folks in and I want to treat you really well. And I'm just really excited about all of this. So let's do some math on this pay in full bonus. So this here is if you get collection 1, instead of it being $6,000 total, it is a total of $5,400, $600 off. Plus saving $500 here. Collection 2, this is I just want to stare at my hotbot on my phone, digital experience. This brings the price down from $4,500 to $4,050. Okay, and collection 1 brings it down to $1,800. Okay, that would be your entire total investment in these sessions, as opposed to like you're paying a session fee plus this package here would be $6,500. And here, this would be $5,400. You can save $1,100. Okay, let me know if you have any questions about any of this. We can also chat it out on the internet as well. I'm very happy to talk about all of this stuff. I am going to get into our FAQs. I am really excited to jump into these things. I know we've got some other questions in the comments. So I'm going to jump into that in a moment. I did already mention the client lingerie closet. This is a really important one though. So I'm going to just answer a couple FAQs right now, and then I'm going to wrap us up, and then I will spend as much time as we need to talking FAQs after this. I want to hear all of your questions. So now is a great time to drop any questions you have about all of the content that I taught today, all of these tips and tricks about boudoir sessions, about the Empowerment Studio. Any questions that you have, I am all yours. But this is a good one. When will my session take place? If you pay in full, you could do your session as early as next month. I actually have some spots open in November, and I would love to bring you in. Oh my gosh, it's the coolest thing. I had another client recently who paid in full, and from the time that we got onto their call to like plan out their session to when they got to see their images for their first time was like such a short amount of time, and it was such a blast. It just felt like this explosion of joy. Or if you end up on a payment plan, the way that it works is when you do a payment plan, you will do your monthly payments, or we can do weekly. This collection here, actually, I did the math on it. If you did a weekly payment for a year, it's something like $32 a week. So I really try to do everything I can to make this as accessible to as many budgets as possible. But if you hop onto a payment plan, you will pay for your collection in full. And when you are paid in full, that's when we will schedule your session for sometime in the next like month or so. If you are traveling in, I have had so many travel clients this year. If you're traveling in, we can schedule you a little further in advance, like while your payment plan is still going on, and we'll just make sure that your session is paid in full by the time that you come in. What if I don't want to do boudoir? That's fine. Listen, here's the deal. Boudoir in the Empowerment Studio is a very expansive definition, in my humble opinion. I don't really care about like if you're wearing lingerie or not. That's not what boudoir means to me. Boudoir means photographer, client, and I make amazing photos of you that you love seeing yourself in, that you recognize yourself in, and you feel great about yourself. And you'll have those photos forever. So you can wear whatever. We could do a fantasy session in a tuxedo in a sunflower field. We could do cosplay in front of a backdrop here. I literally like book a session, hop on your call with me and be like, Kinsey, kind of want to like do a thing. And you know I'm in. Okay, here's this list of prepayment bonuses: neon shower set, mini session, partner boudoir, weekend session, partners boudoir. Also, if you are polyam and you want to bring in 2 different partners, 3, well, I don't care, I'll photograph you all. Make you all look good, feel good. You can get a pre-planning session. You can do headshots, harnesses, body chains, wings, bath sessions. That's only some of them. There's even more. But those are, you pay for your collection in full before you come in for your session, and you unlock prepayment bonuses. Awesome. Let's see, celebration session. I already talked about that. And what if I'm not photogenic? I hear this one so often. Sure, you make everyone else look awesome, but there's no way you can make me look awesome. I dare you. Give me a challenge. Someone give me a challenge. How many people have said that to me? I'm very good at photographing all humans, and I love all of your bodies, and I think you're all beautiful, and I would like to just show it to you. So, okay, here's the link to the sale. Here's my beautiful clients. Oh, I just love everyone so much. Okay, in the comments, I would love to hear, what are your biggest takeaways? What was your experience of being here? Oh, are you going to book a session with me? Let me know. Oh, that's exciting to think about. And I do just want to say, whether or not you book a session with me, there are so many different ways that you can make progress on your body love journey. No matter where you are, what you've been doing, where you're at right now, I truly believe that you're doing great. And I think that what's even better is up ahead for you. You got this. And we are here. We in the Empowerment Studio are here as you continue to take strides towards a more bold, empowered version of yourself. Life is such a wild ride. It's such a wild ride. And we are so honored that you choose to spend some of your time with the Empowerment Studio. And I am so grateful that you were here tonight. All right, my friends, I'm curious if anyone has any questions. I would love to hear. Let's see. You are welcome to turn your cameras back on at this point if you would like to. Oh, I'm so grateful so many of you stuck around with me towards the very end. Thank you, thank you. It makes me very happy to see all your names here. Hello, Libby. Okay, let me see. So we've got some questions from Instagram. How do I know when it's the right time for me to book a session? I love this question. First of all, I think right now is the right time in my humble opinion. But you know, for some people, it's probably like pretty daunting to think of doing a session, and especially if you're not in a great place with your relationship with your body, like totally, I actually think that is not the exact moment to come in for your session. I think you've got some work you can do and some love you can throw at yourself first. But especially with so many clients ending up on prepayment plans, it's like if you end up with a 6-month or even a 12-month prepayment plan, you are making these monthly payments, and all the while you can be taking selfies, you can be having joyful experiences in your bodies, complimenting people, following people on Instagram, like, you know, all these different ways that you can start to like do this work incrementally. And so that by the time you are here in the Empowerment Studio with me, you have already taken so many steps forward, and then you are ready to celebrate and document and leap even further forward with your boudoir session. Is the upcoming sale different from the model call? Yes. So you do not have to sign a model release to participate in these sessions to get this discount. And in fact, if you notice with our fast action bonus, if you've been around the Empowerment Studio for a while, you'll notice that that is actually the exact same discount we give to our model call clients. You get a waived session fee, and then you get to come in and do your session. That's what we usually exchange as a thank you for modeling. And now here I am offering that to all of you for like, I don't know, 48 plus 52 hours or something like that. So it is different from a model call in that you don't have to sign the model release. It is the same as the model call in that the price point is the same. And that's exciting. Let me see if there's any other comments from people who are here still. Okay. Oh, I asked what people were really resonating with. Retraining your brain, would like to counter negativity with neutrality or positivity until the negative is a teeny tiny voice instead of the main character. Love that. Just keep at it. Just keep at it. Just keep at it. I'm glad you've done a session with me. I can't wait to share your photos with you. That's going to be really cool. We're just going to do the next step here. Retraining this brain, also being in my body. Yes, we all have stuff to work on. Yes, existing in photos. Okay, wow. So everyone's saying like, okay, everyone's saying all of them. This is awesome. So number 2, definitely. Number 4, 2 and 4 definitely need to be in my body more, letting myself exist in photos. It's a challenge, but you can make progress. I got to say, my friend, Christine, who made that comment, I've seen your selfies. You are absolutely radiant in your photos. You are a gorgeous human. You are great at existing in photos. I know you live very far away in Canada, but maybe, just maybe, it's time to start thinking about what it would look like if you came to do a session with me. Exploring my identity, being in my body. You do need to take more photos to exist in. Yeah, Kiki. Also, hello. I'm so happy to see you both here. That makes me happy. Christine, after I already just went on and on about how I can't wait to photograph you. You say, I always love your enthusiasm, and it makes me feel like someday I'll be able to be there with you and give you that challenge you're looking for. Yeah, no, nope, you're not going to be a challenge, my friend. Sorry. Oh, these comments are so wonderful. Oh, Kythra said, so I cannot emphasize enough what it's like to be so completely and unabashedly yourself in this session. I thought I had a handle on it in general, as a general everyday thing, but holy smokes, it was something else in the studio. You know, Kythra, you were one of those people who like had already done a lot of the work. You've done a lot of these steps. I know this about you. And still I saw you just that's a very official empowerment studio term. Softened and opened and released and showed up more and more and more as your session went on. Oh, Lex, thank you. I've loved learning about affirmations as an intro to affirmations. Also very intrigued by flow pose. This has been such an incredible workshop, Kinsey. Thank you. This is amazing. Okay, let me see if there were some other questions. Does anyone who's here still have any present questions that they like really wanted me to get to before they sign off? Those of you who are here right now, I can't actually see who else here at this exact, I can see some of your names. Let me see. How many of you have sessions coming up? 2 of you so far that are like payment planning. Kiki, what's that face? Is that gonna be you? We need some more Kiki Empowerment Studio magic. The only thing is, my friend, you're gonna have to let me take care of you, because you always take such good care of me, and you're such an amazing assistant for other people who are here. But you're gonna have to like take off your assistant hat and your mama hat and your employee hat, and you're gonna have to let me just take really good care of you. I think we can do that. Okay. Sarah, are you so excited to see your photos really soon?
Yeah, I'm freaking out. In a good way.
How are you feeling? And this is so cool to have someone on the call who's in that like liminal space between your session and seeing your photos for the first time.
Yeah.
How are you feeling? What's it like?
I feel really excited and a little nervous. But I asked my husband if he would sit and do them with me, and he said he would. So
a cheerleader.
Yeah.
Also, don't forget I'm there.
Yes. So I'm really excited.
I gotta say, your photos are some next level stuff. I feel like I'm always like, everyone's photos are so great, but like, I
still can't believe it happened.
I know, after all these years.
I know. It was time.
All these years. Those of you who have done sessions before, any thoughts about what it's like to see your photos for the first time? What's up, Kiki? What do you have to say? Oh, you muted yourself again. I thought you unmuted for a second.
It's absolutely amazing. I typed it because I wasn't sure that I could come on mic.
Of course you can.
It is amazing. I was just saying that it's so amazing to be able to open an app and remind myself just who I am. It is such an amazing feeling, and I absolutely love it. And yes, I am far now, but I will be back.
Okay, deal. I'm so curious. What's it like seeing photos of your mom? I know that you have gotten to like experience. Do you mind sharing? Like, do you love seeing photos of her?
Yeah, I like the one that she's wearing red and you can see her tummy.
You know what? We actually had a picture from that in our slideshow here. Hold on a second. Did you spot yourself, Kiki?
Yes.
Wait, let's see where you were.
She spotted me first. She said,
"Yeah, not that one."
So when you showed it, I said, and that's your favorite picture because my tummy is her favorite thing. She loves the marks that made her.
You two have such a sweet relationship.
That's so sweet. My daughters call mine love marks, and that just reminds me of that.
I love that. We call them my tattoos, my baby tattoos, which I think is so cute. Though I have a ton of stretch marks that have nothing to do with birth. I've had them for so long in my life, and I've always thought they're so pretty. I love when I notice the light reflects off of them. Though I think that me seeing all of these humans' bodies in the empowerment studio over and over and over and over again has given me such appreciation for all bodies, right? I've really just fallen in love with how all of the ways bodies are. Wow, y'all, thank you so much for being here. This is awesome. I think I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing here. Oh, look at your beautiful faces. Oh, this is so sweet. I have such fond, very specific memories of so many of you here in this exact studio. Kythra, you were right there. And also right there and there. And I think we destroyed the studio in your photo shoot. Honestly, it was amazing. It was awesome. I literally was like, wow, I don't think we left a single bit of this first floor of the studio unturned. It was so much fun. Christine, I dare you. The way you look at me, I feel like you're going to look at me so many times exactly that during your session someday.
Someday I'll get down there.
Deal. It's kind of nice. I always recommend for people who have this as a someday on their list, and I'm not saying you have to do this or anything, but I always recommend to actually just start up the payment plan. And then you're okay, then you have the countdown until the payment plan is done. And then okay, cool, sometime around this time of year, I'm going to be making that journey and doing this thing for myself. Oh, y'all, thank you. Are there any other questions that anyone would really, really, really like to hear the answer to? There were a couple others in there. Ooh, I kind of got at this. What if I don't want to wear lingerie? Yeah, boudoir is everything and nothing. You can be totally naked. You can wear
Raise your hand.
furs and a loincloth like Kytra did. You can wear a ball gown like my client Jacqueline did. You can wear sports bra and jeans man, there's just so many clients. Oh my God. Okay, it's so confusing. Emily's partner, Emmett, right, Libby? Okay, it's so confusing. I have these two beautiful trans friends, both very sweet trans men, who are Emmett and Emerson. And they also both got top surgery on the same day. And I don't even know, their journeys. One's my stepbrother, and then the other is a really dear friend here. And ever since, they've both changed their names, and they're Emmett and Emerson. And I'm just it's the strangest thing. I'm the E names. Who has the question? Is that Kiki?
It's this one.
Oh, what you got for me? What do you have to say?
When is the next workshop?
When is the next what?
Workshop.
The next workshop. Are you already ready for another one? Oh my gosh. I can't even. I don't know the answer to that. What should we talk about in the next workshop? Everything.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you know what? Okay. This is even though I'm going to include it in the recording, so it's not officially off the record, but because we don't have official plans in place for this. But Libby and I have been talking about doing some sort of 5-day challenge in, like, we talked about January, right? We're talking about maybe selfie challenge, but we also have thrown around the idea of a self-care challenge, but like empowerment studio style self-care. I'm curious. You can chat it or shout it out, like unmute and shout it out. But I'm curious if either one of those sounds more appealing to all of you.
It does. So
Yes, please.
We get a self-help calendar every month from her school, actually.
Can I go
And it
grab it?
has a tracker, and we have to track what we did that day, how we felt. So every month they provide that to us.
Can I go-
Oh,
A self-care one sounds great.
I was thinking like January, it's like cozy time. And like, how can we like wrap ourselves up and take care of ourselves? And maybe some of self-care looks like tapping more into yourself, right? Like, I think a lot of these things that we talked about here tonight are very self-care oriented, right? Because if you can like throw some love at yourself, that's really excellent care. Self-care challenge would be really fun, Libby.
I also love the idea of having a printable for self-care challenge that could
Ooh, yeah, that sounds nice.
maybe even be in the vein of a coloring book page.
Oh, okay.
Everybody's on board with that.
Oh my gosh, Kythra, your face too. Your face is thumbs upping. You're such a cutie. I have but two
I
thumbs to put up. I know. I feel. There we go.
Kinsey, Christine said, I regret that I have but 2 thumbs to put up.
It's okay. Yeah. Okay. David, I love your brain. I can't. Can I just take a moment to brag on me and Libby and David and our beautiful dynamic? Because first of all, we had to break off from the rest of the empowerment team into, because we had like a group Facebook message thread. We had to break off into another message thread that's just called Chatty ES team members because me and Libby and David were all like, ooh, this thing. And then there's like Donnie on the thread who is like a tech magic person, but also he has like a very specific relationship with his various message inboxes and gets very quickly overwhelmed and overstimulated by them. And so if there's just like 100 messages in a thread, he'll just be like, nope, I will not, I do not. And sometimes there was like a nugget of, oh, it's very fair. And so I was like, Libby, David, can we take this somewhere else? And then it's great because we just have like a little chit chat running throughout the day now. But we work so well together. I'm like such a visionary, right? I've got all these big ideas, but I am better and better than I used to be now that I understand how my brain works, but I'm just not like as huge of an implementer. Libby is like an extraordinary implementer, her consistency, and she's just like on top of the list. And David is like this beautiful bridge between us. He like does the visioning with me and he does the implementing with Libby, and it's just like a really beautiful thing. So anyway, we're a sweet little crew together. All right, fam, I need to go chug like 2,000 gallons of water. Donnie! I summoned him. He just appeared in the... Hello. Oh, wow, what an old picture of you, Donnie. You are welcome to hop on video and audio. We are at the tail end of our recording here. But you also don't have to. Hello.
I
Goodbye.
do miss you, Donnie. I miss you so much.
Hi, can you see us, hear us? Oh, right. His audio doesn't work on his phone. Well, we're actually about to head out. So I'm gonna let everyone get going. Thank you all so much. Truly, truly, truly for being here. I would really like to invite you one more time, but also a cajillion more times over the next week and a half over social and emails and things. But I would love if some of you booked boudoir sessions in the studio. Maybe a second time around for some of you. Who knows? But I just would really like to invite some more empowerment studio magic into all of our lives. Okay, Goodbye, everyone. Mwah, 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 mwah. Bye. Hi, Lex. Bye. Oh, I have to stop the recording first.